Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We extort, we pilfer, we filch, we sack. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Maraud and embezzle and even hijack. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Welcome to Pirates Month. Woo! Tonight is a very special day. I dressed for the occasion. Boom. And no, this is not one of my original shirts, but I am very proud to own a Pirates of the Caribbean shirt because the next 5 weeks are all about Pirates of the Caribbean. That's right. You know, the teacup movie marathons can go from very highbrow to very lowbrow, as I think we have seen. So tonight I'm thrilled because we are kicking off 5 weeks where every week we're going to be watching a different movie from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise and just like slowly watch as they like slowly degrade in quality. So we're starting things off nice and strong tonight with one of my personal favorite Disney films, just movies of all time, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. I am so thrilled to just dive into this movie because I rewatched it earlier this week and like, oh, it's still so good. I love this movie. I love this movie so much. Let's see who we have here in the chat joining us. What pirates do we have? Sabrina, my other cat, is here. Sabrina, where's Eliza? Oh, Eliza's with you. Okay, she might watch, but Sabrina's going to watch Hallmark Christmas movies. Sabrina, it's too early for that. It's too. Disney Daddo's listening from the car tonight. Drive safe, Disney Daddo. Drive safe. Woohoo! Disney Daddo's on his way home. Hey, if you get home before we finish the show, join us. Why not? Join the party. Aubrey says, good evening. According to my dad, all pirates are inherently gay. So we're on theme for Pride Month. Again, the Pride gods knew. The Pride gods knew. It reminds me of that episode of How I Met Your Mother when Marshall dresses up like a pirate. And they're like, the winner of the costume contest is Marshall Erickson as the gay pirate. He's like, I'm just a pirate. But no. There you go, Aubrey. Again. The Pride gods know. Mary's with us. Oh, Mary, you've only seen the first one. You were here for the right night because we were discussing the first one. But by all means, join us on this wild ride. Watch the rest of the pirate movies. Come join us. And Mary, come on the show. Come on the show and talk the Pirates movies with us. We're here. You know how to find us. Surfer Girl's here. Hi, Surfer Girl. Welcome. All right. Well, let's bring in our guests for this evening. We have two Teacup for One favorites. You know them. You love them. Who's it going to be first? We don't know. Oh, it's just Morgan with the bottle of rum.
Yo-ho!
Yo-ho. Hello. Oh, what kind of rum do you have?
I couldn't pass up the opportunity.
Show us the rum. What kind of rum is it?
It is Cruisin' rum, coconut rum, so it's clear rum, because that's the only kind I drink.
Tasty.
Yes.
I had that with it. Well, I don't know if it was that brand. I had coconut rum with a Dole Whip once at Animal Kingdom. It was like a delicious frozen alcoholic pina colada.
Yeah,
so
I actually used this rum in my Christmas video when I made my Grinch fail drink. It was like a Grinch fail. I think I've told you about it before, where I thought adding Sprite would make it green because the bottle's green. Has that a low point in my life?
Oh, Morgan.
You never know. I'm a teacher.
Oh, Morgan. You're a science teacher, too.
I know. I know. As I was pouring it out, I was like, why would I think this would make it green? And I was sleep deprived. It was.
No, well, it was one of those experiments where you learned something, and therefore not an experiment failed. There we go.
Yeah, all my friends texted me about it, and they were like, oh my gosh, like that is a you moment.
That's hilarious. Well, yo-ho and a bottle of rum to you, Morgan.
Yes.
Morgan, welcome to Pirates Month. I'm so happy you could join us to kick it off. Yo-ho indeed.
You.
So tell us a little bit about you. Who's Morgan? What does Morgan do? Do you teach Disney? Are you pirate? Let us know all of it.
So I actually am a pirate. Fun fact. My school's mascot are the pirates. So it's just a coincidence
that's
that
hilarious.
this happens to be Pirate Month. But I am a 6th grade math and science teacher, and I love all things Disney. I do teaching and I do Disney on my channel. Actually, tomorrow I have a teaching live stream video called Teacher's Corner, and I'm gonna have our friend Jake from Jake's Disney Afternoon on with me. And we're going to talk about all fun things on the last week of school.
Oh, I loved the last week of school. In grade school, that's when it's fun. And even high school, it's not as much fun because it's phased out. Like you have exams, and then the day where you come back for exams, you don't have like a solid last day of school after like grade 8, in my experience. It's a special childhood magic that has been lost. Yeah.
But at least in 6th grade, or middle school at least. So
there you go.
There you go.
And tell us, is it true that you're named after rum?
It is. It is true. I am named after Captain Morgan. So my mom, that is her favorite rum, and she just loved it, and it had to be an M. That's like a thing in my family. Like that had to be like you have to have an M name. So she's Margaret. So I'm Morgan, and now I have to name my child with an M. Apparently.
Amazing. I love that. All right. And with that, let's bring in our next guest for this evening. Teacup for one fan favorite. Once again, you know her, you love her. It's Tinker J Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette.
Yo ho.
Yo ho, indeed. Welcome, me hearty. Ahoy, as Martha would say. Yes. Oh, and Surfer Girl says hi to Morgan.
Hi, Surfer Girl.
Oh, and Surfer Girl says hi to everyone. And Mary. There we go. Woot! So, yes, Jeanette, welcome to Pirate Month. Well, tell us about you. Are you a pirate at heart as well?
I am a big pirate and a pirate fan. And much like Morgan, while I did not graduate from said college, I did go to UNO, and they were the privateers. So there we are. We're all little pirate mascots here.
Right. I was a professional pirate for a while at a theme park. It was a good time.
That's pretty phenomenal. As we'll get into, I
could see you totally doing that.
Oh yeah, I was the cartographer. We decided on the ship.
Nice. That's prestigious.
Yeah. Right? Isn't it? Isn't it? And I had like the classiest pirate name. I can't say it. Well, I can, but like it's not inappropriate. But it's one of those things where like you take your middle name and the street you grew up on and like combine them, and then that's whatever your name. But like now that has become a way to get information to get your password. So like I'm not gonna publicly say what it was, but like trust, it was a really good pirate name. Like I'll tell you two when we're off the air. But it was a fantastic pirate name. But yeah, Jeanette, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about Tinker J. Tell us about Diz Nerdy, Dole Whip Darlings, all of it.
Yes, so you can find me at TinkerJ787 on Instagram. You can see my Disney trips there. You can see some various other parts of my Maryland life. And then you can catch me on We Like Theme Parks, where I'm a co-host on there, and all of our good Disney friends. And that's on the Diz Nerdy Network on YouTube. And soon, July, we'll be doing Dole Whip Darlings with Churro Fund and Sammy D.
I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. All right. Well, we are here tonight to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Like the best in the series as far as I'm concerned. Although it's the only one I've rewatched myself. I've seen all the other ones. Well, I haven't seen the 5th one at all because the trailer had a zombie shark and I was like, you're not getting my time or my attention. But they will, because I have to watch it now in like 4 weeks. The others I've only seen once. This is a movie much like Hercules, which had its anniversary yesterday. Woot. This is a movie that like I can just watch anytime and still continue to love. But as I always like to open, we're going to talk about our nostalgic feels with the movie. If you recall the first time you saw it and what nostalgic value it has for you. I always go first. Morgan, you go first.
Okay. Oh, dang it. So I don't actually remember when I first saw this. I don't think it was in theaters. I think it was like at a slumber party maybe or something.
Such a good slumber party movie.
But I am terrified of this movie. Much
Still?
like some of the other ones, like as we get deeper and deeper in, they get scarier and scarier for me. But this movie scarred me as a child. Those like bones and the skeleton, I was like, nope, I can't do it. I was petrified for weeks that some random skeleton was just gonna come into my room and like kidnap me.
I love that.
But so that is my That's my
Those are your
experience with
nostalgic
this movie.
feels. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. Jeanette.
So for me, it was in theaters. And one thing that I'll always remember this movie for is because my friends and I were already obsessed with Johnny Depp. And Keira Knightley was no slouch either. I'm pretty sure she was already like pretty well known when this movie came out. I remember being really excited about it, and my friends and I got ready for like a week. We got dressed up. My hair was long at the time, and I braided like all of my hair into individual little braids, and we all got really dressed up. And there was this big escalator into like the mall area from our theater, and so we rode down the middle of it like with our swords in the air and everything. We were so stoked. We were so into it. It was ridiculous. So like this was a big love affair. And yeah, I've rewatched it like, I don't know, countless times.
No, it holds up so well. Yeah, and like much the same for me. Sadly, I didn't have the experience of seeing it in costume. But still, like it came out when I think I was 16. No, I wasn't 15. I was definitely 16. And it was grade 11. Like that was like the resurgence of Disney in my life. I never stopped loving Disney, except like there was a phase where the Disney animated films just weren't good, like the Home on the Range era. And so I like lost interest there. And then I was just like a Disney fan nostalgically, and like I would go to the Disney store anytime I was in
Wait,
the
are
mall.
you saying you don't like The Tale of the Little Toaster?
I know, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Brave Little Toaster? That's
Brave
1989.
Little
That's
Toaster?
Oh, is that
before.
before that? Oh, okay.
Way
No, it's
before. Brave
before
Little
that.
Toaster is amazing.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah,
it came
no.
out when I was little, so I was like,
No, well,
There
I don't
maybe
think you were
maybe an
born yet.
8th sequel or something.
Yeah.
maybe.
No. But yeah, like that era, I wasn't done with Disney, but like Disney and I were on a break. And I was still known as the Disney nerd in high school, and I was proud of that. But this was like where Disney met with me, like where Disney all of a sudden, like all my friends suddenly got really into this Disney movie. And it was also when the Disney store stopped carrying just princess merch and started carrying like adult stuff too, like t-shirts that I could wear. Like this movie for me marks when I became a Disney adult officially in my brain. And it was just so thrilling to me to have a period piece that was like a swashbuckling good time. And like this was right when I was getting really into theater and everything. And like the year prior, I had just learned sword fighting in my drama program. And so I was really into like sword fighting. And then to see that in a film, oh, it was so thrilling because I was like, I know those sword moves. They're doing them so much better than me, but like I've done that. That's fun. And I just started like my mini pirate phase. And then a few years later, like I said, I got to be a professional pirate at a theme park. It was great. So yeah, this movie has such a nostalgic like place in my heart. But I do definitely think it's held up fantastically, which we'll talk about in a second. But Mary says, I can't hear the mall without thinking, let's go to the mall, everybody. Well, absolutely. It's a classic.
Yeah. I was a mall rat, like to the nth degree. So
this is the second How I Met Your Mother reference we've had too in like the last 10 minutes. I love that. I love that. Yeah. So how does this movie hold up today? Watching it almost 20 years later. It's like 19 years old. Next year is going to be the 20th anniversary. And I don't like that at all. Like in my brain, it came out like 10 years ago, but it's
right.
It was 20. Don't like it. So Jeanette, how does it hold up now watching it?
I think everything holds up. The thing I was the most worried about on this rewatch, because it had maybe been, I don't know, a couple of years, and you know how that whole CGI thing goes. You watch it one time, it's fine. You watch it another time, you're like, oh my gosh, this is not good. Right? That like Star Wars prequels. You watch it now, you're like, no, I can't. But this one, everything holds up. All the special effects hold up. It's Bruckheimer, so the explosion scenes they're amazing. And I think more on this watch, just because I was paying attention to it, because I found it relevant to, we're discussing it. I figured it would come up, especially since we all love the Disney parks, is when it first came out, I felt like I was like, what does this have to do with the ride? And then I feel like holding up, it feels great now because they've had it assimilated for so long on this watch. I was like, oh yeah, I don't think I could do it without Jack Sparrow anymore. I like it. Yeah. So
see, I don't love how I know they had to do it. I don't love how Jack Sparrow-y the ride is now, but we're going to discuss the ride. We'll discuss the ride and how they butchered it. Morgan, what do you think? How does it hold up now? Does it still scare you?
It does.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it does. The first, like, and I feel like they do jump scares, and I am a person that will full on fall for a jump scare any day of the week. And they're just so grotesque looking that I'm like, I don't even want to look at you. Like, I don't want to look at what's on the screen, because it instills horror or like grossness in me. I don't know. But I didn't have nightmares this time, so that's a plus. I think it's like as it goes on, there was one that I tried to watch. I think it was the third one, which I guess I'm gonna have to watch now because I've only watched up to the second one. But I think the third one, like 2 minutes in, I was like, nope, can't do it. Bye.
Oh, the third one has a giant.
Oh.
Yeah, the third one, I'm not going to be here for that one, but the third one is at World's End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third one gets really weird.
Yeah.
Like, not just scary, like, it gets weird.
Morgan, do you find that this one, and I think maybe this has to do with scaring you a little bit, that this movie is a little more violent than I feel like they would get away with in a Disney live action now? There's a lot of like, he busts in the house and he's like, hey.
I love it.
And then,
like,
yeah, like there's a lot of
They
like,
fully slit that guy's throat.
yeah.
That guy's throat, like,
Yeah.
you don't see
I'm
the
like-
blood, but like, you know what happened.
Yeah, I'm like, exactly. I'm just like, so we get away with this because there's just magically no blood in this person's body. This is
Well,
But
no,
I
this
thought
is the
that was
first. This is the first Disney movie to get a PG-13 rating, which I think is really
Yeah.
like, and I love that. I love that they didn't hold back, and I think that's one of the reasons that it is so good, because it's not sanitized. Like, you hear the Disney label, and you have certain expectations, like what we ended up getting with Jungle Cruise last year, which was like a half attempt at what could have been a really fantastic movie.
right.
But
Hey, I
like,
love that movie.
it's in like it's. I like it.
Forgot
But,
Morgan loves it.
Puns are my favorite part of that movie.
oh, the puns are great.
Hey, it's
Pun-
okay, Morgan. I like the second Mary Poppins, so you know.
I didn't mind it.
Mary Poppins Returns.
I
Bedknobs
love
and
that
Broomsticks did it better. Bedknobs and Broomsticks did it better.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
But
Yeah.
I think that
Mary
is
knows.
a part of it, like, because it's so gory, and it's like, I'm just like, whoa, I was not expecting all of that in the beginning, nor
Yeah.
in the middle, nor at the end to see like full on skeletons and everything.
Oh yeah, and they shoot that
food
guy
falling
in the face
straight
at the
out of
beginning.
people's bodies.
Keira Knightley gets slapped twice. Like,
Yeah.
God,
There's
I remember
there's a
that
lot.
specifically, like sitting in the theater when it came out, and just like that was actually what shook me the most. I was like, did that actually just happen in this
You know what
movie?
I
Like
never
in
put
2003?
you know what I never put together? There were two things. So the first one is that the guy that is on the ship in the very beginning when they're kids,
Yeah.
ends up being a pirate.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I saw him, I was like, he's a pirate. What is he doing with the British Royal Navy? Like, what is he doing there? I was like, oh, this is his story. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I was thrown for a loop. And then the second thing was, I didn't realize that guy, I can never remember his name, but he's like the guy that likes Keira Knightley and like wants
Orlando Bloom?
her. Who?
Orlando Bloom is the actor. Will Turner's the
No,
character.
not him.
Oh, Norrington?
Norrington.
Yeah.
Norrington is like a full adult when she's a
Yeah,
child.
that's
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And then she grows up and he's like, yeah, so will you marry me? I'm like,
And even his wig changes color over
Yeah.
those 8 years.
He's an elder statesman. He's
Yeah.
ew. I was like, how old are you? Like,
Yeah.
is she like, because I have to assume she's like probably 18 at that point.
I think
I
she's
would
supposed to be
hope.
6. They
Could
say
be like,
they say
she
8
could be like
years.
16 or something. Yeah.
I think they say 8 years from the first scene when she's a kid. So I think she's somewhere between 16 to 18.
Yeah.
And I would wager, if we're being generous, I would say maybe in the first scene he's 20.
Don't
and
look so
maybe
shocked.
28.
Most Disney princesses are 16, and that's
Yeah.
that's the sad truth.
Yeah, it's true. Although their princes are usually like 2 to 4 years max older than them.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Sleeping,
it's like
Sleeping
relatively
Beauty is
around the same
questionable.
age, but this guy's like at least.
Oh
a
yeah, no,
little-
you're right. Philip's definitely a full like adult kid when he meets her.
He's like
Yeah.
12.
But like he's definitely like a full like 10, 20-ish years older than her. And I was
Oh.
like, this is disgusting. And
And he's
I
like,
hate
"You've become a fine woman, Elizabeth."
So we're gonna say this did not hold. That particular part did not
that.
hold up.
I was like, what?
but it's The
Well, no, I think it
unfortunate
was
truth.
equally gross back then, though. I think that's also kind of the point.
Well, yeah.
Like, just so
That
that
was
it's
definitely the point.
yeah.
Like, it was
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
made, but I've never noticed it until
Mhm.
now. Like, I always knew he was older than her, but I didn't think, like, I thought she just didn't like him. I didn't realize that he was, like, has seen her grown up. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's disgusting.
What does Aubrey have to say? When it came out when I was 8, I remember looking at the poster in the theater, asking my mom if we could see it. She wouldn't take me because my younger siblings were too young. Oh, you missed out on seeing it in theaters. It was so good in theaters. Ooh,
Mhm.
but also still so good watching on Disney Plus. And I think all the reasons you said, I think it absolutely still holds up. Because yeah, I think all the things that were kind of that are questionable about it are questionable for reasons that serve the story that they were aware of back then, like that weird gross age difference. Because like I think Elizabeth is so aware of it, and it just like playing into this awful social system that she's been born into. Like her dad doesn't see a problem with it, Norrington doesn't, and like it's classic formula just to make Will like the underdog that she secretly loves and then she ends up with, and he's a pirate. So good.
Yeah.
And I think the reason this movie holds up so well is because they took the genre so seriously at the time. Like there was nothing tongue-in-cheek about it. There was nothing topical about it. It wasn't like a Shrek movie where it takes place in a certain time, but there's all these like outside, like the narrative fourth wall winks to the audience, whereas like we're making this for a 21st century audience. No, like this is a movie that could hold its own up against like those classic 1950s swashbuckling pirate movies. And then they layer in the cool fantasy horror elements. It's so good. I love it. I love this movie so much. But let's connect it to the ride. Like, how do we feel about the pirate ride first before we connect it to the movie? Morgan, do you remember the ride before they put movie things into it?
No.
No, Jeanette, do you?
Yes, very much.
So, what are your thoughts on ride pre-movie and ride post-movie?
Well, like I
now?
wrote it before they put Jack in it.
Oh,
Is that what you're
okay.
talking about?
Pretty
I
much,
remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I know they changed some of the scenes, and I don't remember what the scene used to be.
Yeah, from what I remember, like eras ago, so long ago, pre-Jack, yeah, it was just there was no story. It was just all these little vignettes of pirates
Yeah.
doing
That's what I was
piratical
going to
things.
say. There was really no story. And that's why, like, when this came out, I remember being like, so what's the pirate story? And I remember thinking that they were going to like make an Adventureland movie, and that's really what they were talking about. But it's really not. Like, it's genuinely just everything that's contained in Pirates. And I thought it was cool because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the ride in Disneyland has a scene where they're skeletons when you look at it from one way, but human when you look at it from another way. Whereas ours is just, they're just skeletons in Disney World. So I thought that was cool. And I don't even think I really knew that because it was before I really educated myself about Disneyland. I knew like everything there was to know about Disney World, but I had no clue about how different Disneyland's Pirates was. Ooh. And then after finding out some of that, I was like, oh, well, that's that and that's that. And, you know, I thought it was cool. But if you look at the scenes, and I think this is something I've appreciated more now, if you look at the scenes that just after years of rewatching and everything, you're like, this really is completely set dressed and lit like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Like that scene when they're attacking the village, the lighting is so on point, and they do those shots where you're down and looking in a doorway. And I'm like, oh, well, that's where you are on the ride. You're down and looking in a doorway. Like that's little things I notice more and more.
I think there's a lot of scenes that match up in Pirates, like the begging for the keys from the dog.
Oh, and, I have him.
Aww.
So cute. Keep going.
The begging for the keys from the dog, and then like the selling scene. There's like kind of a similar like motif in the movie at Tortuga where they go, and the burning of everything. Obviously, like that's very similar. And I've only ever been on the Walt Disney World ride, so I don't know much about the Disneyland. I just know that it's like double the ride. So.
Yeah.
Yep. As do I. I don't know much about the Disneyland one either. I've just heard that it's better across the board. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like just the genius of this movie is that you almost everything from the ride at the time that the movie was made was in there, but it wasn't at the forefront. Like, it wasn't aggressively in your face. Like, this is a ride movie. If you knew the ride, then you got the payoff of that. But then if you didn't, you could just enjoy it as a fun like movie that was
I'm not
about
gonna
pirates.
lie, I thought the ride was based off the movie.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of people do. A lot of people do now. And that makes me so sad. But they
then
definitely
I learned,
they
I learned
rebranded
later,
it.
like I know now it's not, but like I thought originally, and I was like, and then I like was really delving into like Disney history during the pandemic, and then I was like, wait, Pirates was an opening day ride, but this movie wasn't made yet, and it like all clicked, and I was like, oh, like light bulb.
Yep, I have to agree with Mary. I hated when they put Jack
I don't mind it so much, and I think I mind it less, obviously, with time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it destroyed much of anything, and if you like the movies, it's there for you. I like that they put Barbossa on the ship because that was always like, I mean, it was a good scene. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love the old ride. I just thought that it was a great way to keep it relevant without really changing.
Oh, I do
like
I
too
love that.
much.
Like, I love having Barbossa on the ship. Like, I think that's fantastic because it doesn't change that much. You still have the ship, you have a pirate on it, but now it's just a pirate that we recognize a little bit more. What really threw me, because my first time riding it with the pirate overlay, like, there was almost a 20-year gap in my Disney World trips. I went when I was 12, then I went again when I was like 29. And so when I went as a 29-year-old, I like only remembered the classic pirate ride. And then within 5 seconds, I just hear all these pirate voices being like, we have to find Jack Sparrow. And I was like, oh, no. Is that what this ride is now? It is. And then it like the spirit of what I loved was still there, but now all of a sudden they were talking about Jack Sparrow. I was like, you shouldn't know who that is. Gosh darn it. And then I like the Jack Sparrow animatronics, like him just poking his head out of the barrel. I think that's cool. I like having him at the very end. It's just mostly those pirates talking about Jack Sparrow and turning that whole ride into a like, where's Waldo of Jack Sparrow. That really annoyed me. But I do still love the village burning scene, both in the ride and in the movie, because I think the movie it's so brilliant because it gets the bulk of the ride out of the way in the first half hour or so. And it truly, like, that whole scene when they're taking over the village feels so much like being in the ride. And then they pepper in all the other fun little things, like the dog with the keys, as well as like the wenches with Scarlet and the other girl. And I also just really love like that we get the classic redhead in this movie. And I've discovered this. Did anyone know that there's a short film called Wedlocked that is in the Pirates of the Caribbean universe, and it's just about the bride auction, which doesn't exist in the ride anymore? Like, there is a bride auction movie.
No.
Yes. So it's like pre-transformation, before she became a pirate herself and before that whole auction scene changed. And it's about Scarlet and then the blonde wench. And the two of them are convinced that it's their wedding day, and they're getting ready for their wedding day doing their makeup. It's like, I'm getting married today. And she's like, oh yeah, I am too. Well, my husband's going to be better than yours. Yeah? Well, no, he's not, because I'm marrying Jack Sparrow. And then they realize that they're both engaged to Jack Sparrow. And instead of them actually getting married to Jack Sparrow, their wedding day is actually them showing up at the bride auction. So they show up, and then they're being auctioned off to all the pirates. And then they're like, this is ridiculous. I'm a human. You can't put a price on me. But then the blonde gets angry because all the guys are bidding higher on the redhead. And she's like, you can't put a price. Wait, what? You think she's worth more goats than me? And then she gets angry because the redhead is bid on for like 150 goats.
Was this like an extra on the DVD or something?
I'm not sure where it exists. It's on YouTube, and it's hilarious, and it's so fantastic. And then at the very end, it ends with them like banding together because this is what's so great about it. When some guy wins one of them in the auction, then the auctioneer says, well, you're her property now. And she's like, I'm his property. So anything I do is like, he's responsible for it. Then he says yes. So then she like tries to shoot another pirate. And then the pirates start like arguing with each other because their property was trying to kill them. So they like turn the pirates against each other. It is so clever. And then at the very end, they reveal that they took the nails out of Jack Sparrow's ship, and that's why he's sinking at the beginning of Black Pearl. And it connects.
Oh my god!
And it's like it's 10 minutes long, and it's so good.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, so I recommend everyone watch Wedlocked. It's the one thing that makes that super problematic scene in the ride kind of forgivable. Yes, even though, oh yeah, how do we feel about that? About getting rid of the redhead? I know that it's not to do with the movie, but it's like a big
She's
thing.
still there.
She is. I know a lot of like classic Disney fans were upset that they changed her into a pirate from being a wench.
I mean, she's still like seedy, right? She's still
Yeah.
a pirate. So I mean, I think it was the right thing to do.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird thing to just completely and utterly like embody in form of robots. Like
Yeah.
now we're just got all the rich people tied up. Nobody's gonna be mad about that. So
That's
you know,
true. I do enjoy that. Like my whole thing, I'm kind of writing a video about it. I don't know if it'll come out anytime soon, but like, do we think that the new pirate, Red, is the same character as the wench pirate, or is this just a different person that is now a pirate? Like, do we think she's meant to be the same person and like she's just gone through a giant life change?
You mean like in terms of what they're going to talk about in the movie, or like the character on the ride?
Character on the ride, or I think, well, in the movie, Scarlet is like firmly established as a character who is a wench, and I feel like if that character comes into the live action films, it's probably going to be Margot Robbie.
Well, the
because
next
we know
movie,
she's in the next movies.
yeah, the next movie's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know if I ever thought about it that way as far as her storyline. Isn't the animatronic the same animatronic though? No, it's a new
People
one,
think
right?
that it's the Wicked Witch of the West animatronic reskinned.
Oh, I thought we thought that was somebody else. I thought that was Kylo Ren.
Oh,
No, yeah, I think it is. That's why it breaks all the time.
there have been so no, like I think
Not as new as people like to believe.
when Movie Ride first closed, that was around the time the pirates switched over, and so people were speculating that they took the face of Jane from the Great Movie Ride and put it on the body of the Wicked Witch of the West. Like neither way has it been confirmed.
No, there's a whole like in one of the Inside Disney or like the Imagineering story, it was one of those two where they have a whole thing talking about the pirate ride, and they talk about the change. And I remember them saying that they do think like the person that was dressing her was like she was a wench and now she's a pirate, and they felt like it was a transformation for her. Yeah, and that it was the same person. It's not the same animatronic, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's my issue with the ride, with the new things coming in, is that it's very obvious what's old and what's new. And that is where I don't like it as much, because like Jack Sparrow sticks out way too much for like when he's in the scenes with the other people, like when he's in that barrel scene, it's very clear that he is different from the animatronic he's next to, along with when they're dunking the person, trying to get the information out of him. Like that's very, very obvious that and they tried to put him farther away, but like it's very obvious he's like very different from them. And same with the girl, like she looks newer than some of the other ones.
Yeah. Actually, I think, that's probably another reason I didn't realize I don't like it, because it ruins the continuity. When all of them have this like stiff mannequin-esque vibe to them, I can buy into it. But then when you have one that's flowing and moving like the priestess in the Avatar ride, basically, and it's like, no, Uncanny Valley.
And you don't notice it with Barbossa, because I think one, he's so far away, and he's by himself on the boat. Whereas you notice it more with Jack, especially in those scenes. I notice it the most because he's right next to them. And I just wrote it on like Sunday, and that's why I like had these thoughts.
Did you write it as research for this?
I didn't. Well, no, I didn't. It's just like a thing now. It's just like a thing now that every time we go to Magic Kingdom, my sister and I have to ride Pirates, and we rode Splash Mountain because it was ungodly hot, and I didn't get wet at all.
I've never gotten wet on Splash Mountain.
Really? Huh.
Though I usually go in like January, February, so I feel like they turn down.
Oh, yeah, February is pretty rough.
Need to sit in the front.
Oh, I don't get that choice. I go where they tell me to go.
You do.
You just tell them. You just tell them.
But
I don't want to get wet
at all, and I was so upset because my sister hates riding the ride because she always gets wet, and we didn't get wet. and it was the only time she asked to go on it, and I really wanted to because it was so hot. So I was like, let's go on Pirates so we can get wet. And we did.
Yeah, you do. You can get wet on Pirates. It
Yeah,
splashes
people are
up
like,
over
oh,
you.
you can't get wet on this ride. There's no drop on this ride. I like laugh at them. I'm like, no, you
Yes, there
can
is.
get so.
It's a 25-foot drop. It's in the dark. Maybe just because
Yeah.
it's in the dark, people pretend it's not there.
Yeah, well, they tell the little kids that are like afraid of drops. They're like, oh no, there's no drop. And I'm like, and I look behind me. I'm like, you know, there's a drop, right? Like,
It's the tiniest little thing.
It's still it's like 25 feet.
Well, if you're sitting,
You're going down the floor of a
there's
building.
Like nothing in front of you. It like does like you can like I don't know. It scares me enough that like to have a little child that's like 3 years old with nothing securing them.
We got Nola on it. We got Nola on it. Told her there were no drops, and to this day she goes, "There's a drop on Pirates," and we're like, "Okay, whatever.
Not.
It's the tiniest thing."
Yeah, I heard it's a lot worse in Disneyland.
Yeah, it's much bigger in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Frozen ride drop, which you don't expect to be there or to be as intense as it is. And like, I'm not saying it's super intense, but it's more intense than you would expect from the Frozen ride.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot cooler of a drop when it was Maelstrom.
I was too scared to ride it when it was Maelstrom. I regret that
Maelstrom.
so much.
I rode
the troll.
it.
The troll. Let's jump in the comments here. Oh, I think this is about Jack. It's less offensive now that it's been a while, but I was so offended. Yeah, I've kind of warmed up to it. And did they change the voices? I don't remember it as being "Let's Find Jack" now. In my memory,
I think they turned down the volume on them. Like genuinely,
I
think they
so.
just turned the volume down on them. Like you can hear it still if you want to follow that storyline. Yeah. But I'm just glad they didn't take out the guys, the 3 guys singing the song. Like that's all still there. Everything's still there.
The pirate cats are still there. That's where my heart
They
lies.
did take out the one of the guy. They did take out and they took these animatronics out completely of the guy chasing the woman.
Didn't they reverse it so the woman's chasing the guy?
Yeah,
with
the
broom.
broom.
They always had a woman chasing a guy with a broom. And then on top of them, they had the guy chasing the woman. And they took those ones out completely. Everyone thinks that they reversed it, but they didn't. They had both of them. Because I distinctly remember that and looking at that and being like, that's odd. And then I heard about it and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like over the years, Pirates has they've realized how inappropriate the original ride was, and they've started really toning it down. Because I think I remember one of my early Disney trips, probably when I was 12 or earlier, it was a thing that they had just changed that specific moment so that one of the women was chasing the pirate, because originally it was just all the pirates chasing the ladies in the nightgowns. And they've slowly started to realize, not right for a Disney ride.
Not very family friendly there, Waltz.
Village burning scene is why most of why my parents didn't let me watch it until it was out of theaters. I was a sensitive kid, so the scene was a bit much. It was too much even for my mother. Yeah, it is pretty intense. I was surprised when I rewatched Muppet Treasure Island how similar that scene is when the pirates
Oh my
take
god,
over.
there's so many. I'm glad you said that. There were so many parallels for me. I was like, oh my, that and Hook. I was just feeling all the pirate vibes, right? I was just like, oh my god. Very super dramatic pirate vibes. Yeah.
There's a lot of innuendos too in this movie.
Oh,
you think?
Yeah, PG-13. I think they just decided early on, let's just go for PG-13 and push it as far as we can. Just riding that limit before we get R. Yeah. And they did. And I love it.
Just take all the blood out. Pretend like bodies don't have blood and you're fine.
Oh my gosh. When they shoot the guy in the face, when she's like, don't open the door. I was like, they just shot him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my jaw dropped at that. I was like, oh. And then you see him just laying there.
Yes.
Chilling.
Oh, it's so intense. And then they corner her in the closet with the eye and it's like, hello, Puppet. So scary and so good.
Those two, I think that's what really scarred me was those two.
They're the comic relief.
But they are later in the film, but in the beginning, they are the scariest things in the world.
Oh my gosh. I've seen so many horror movies at this point in my life when I saw this, that this was this was the perfect blending. I was like, yeah, throw a little bit of that in there.
Well, I think I was like 7 when I saw this. I wasn't.
That's true. I forget
I can't imagine seeing this movie as a legit child. To me, it's such a teenager movie. because that's what age I was when it came out. But I think I was acutely aware that if it had come out when I was maybe 10 or younger, I would have been terrified. And like, it would have been one of those movies that I wouldn't even like go near the poster for just because it would trigger me. Yeah. But no, like when it came out, perfect blend, like just scary enough, but no blood. That's a
Yeah.
perfect Matt movie. Even now, I hate blood, but like this, like, yeah, kill all those guys.
Sometimes
Just don't
there
show me
is
the blood.
though. Like there's always blood. I love how there's no blood when they stick the sword in, and then they stick the sword out, and suddenly there's all this blood on the sword.
Yeah.
But yet there's nothing coming out of the person, and I'm
Well,
like,
I feel like the use of blood in this movie is so deliberate and so perfect that like
Yeah.
it's so sparing when you do see it.
Yeah, it's
That
impactful.
it makes that last moment so good. Like I almost started crying yesterday when I was watching because of just how effective and how perfect the ending is when they lift the curse and like he
Yeah.
shoots him and then he's like, you wasted your shot. No, I didn't. Drop, and then you just see the blood coming out of the shirt and he
Yeah.
doesn't get his apple. He doesn't get his apple.
Aw.
Oh my gosh, it's so brilliant. So, there's so many things I want to dig into and discuss. Well, okay, let's start with who's everyone's favorite performance in this movie. I mean, like Johnny Depp's probably the obvious one, or maybe
Yeah,
it's
I was
not.
gonna say, I'm
But I
like,
guess
really?
first, let's talk about Johnny Depp and get that out of the way as Captain Jack, and then we'll talk about who your favorite performance is. That's not him. So, Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. I think now, like 20 years in, it's almost become a meme where everything he plays has a little flair of Jack Sparrow, and
Yeah.
people are almost like, people are over Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow because it's done. It's over.
oh my gosh,
Like,
when
stop
Johnny
beating the
Depp,
dead
this
horse.
is like a sidetrack, but like when
Yep.
Johnny Depp announced, like when they announced he's not going to be in Pirates, and he released his statement how he doesn't get to say goodbye to Jack, I shed tears.
I know, I did.
Oh,
I
I said
did.
goodbye to
I've
Jack
cried.
a long time ago.
I've cried so much about him not being Jack Sparrow. I
Well,
can't
there's
really tell you.
petitions to get him put back in, and for Disney to apologize to him.
You mean like they had to do with James Gunn after he went and made super successful movies because they kicked him out? Yeah, they'll do it.
No, like Jack Sparrow this movie only works, I feel, because Jack Sparrow's not the main character. And I think once and everyone was saying this when it came out too. They said if it ever gets to a point where Jack Sparrow is the main focus, the franchise won't work. And I think, well, I don't want to say that's what happened because I've only seen the others once, but I'm pretty sure that this is the hill I'm going to be dying on in 5 weeks, that the movies stop working when you get rid of like the main characters and then just put all the focus on Jack, because he's like the Fonzie. Happy Days stopped working when Fonzie became too popular. And yes, he's the best character, but you can't have too much of a good thing. That's why you don't over salt meals.
So I feel like Jack, and if you watch the show Dexter, you'll get this reference. Jack is like, well, on Dexter, there's a new villain, right? Every season. And it's this new big character, and you get to know them all this, right? And better analogy, I feel like Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann are the Amidala and Anakin of this story. I personally could almost do without them after the second movie.
Yes.
How dare you?
Done with that. Done with the love
you?
story. I can leave a love story any day. I'm done with the love story. Give me.
It's not just a love story. Elizabeth has such a good arc. She becomes the Pirate King.
Oh, yeah. That was so predictable. And it was all about sexy pirate outfits. And I don't know. That was like, I'm just like, that's a better analogy. I was going to say Jack is like Dexter. And then like in every movie after this, well, no, even the second one, there's just a new villain. There's that new big, whatever in it.
Oh, the second one like really gives me nightmares.
Oh yeah, he has an octopus beard.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do the second one, but I'm just saying, like Jack is the main character already. There's just really strong side characters.
I was gonna say, I think this movie's like mostly about him. If I'm wrong, like please tell me I'm wrong.
It is mostly about Elizabeth.
It kind of
I feel
like there's three main characters all going at the same time, and they all have a little piece of something. And like, but I would not say that Jack is not the main character.
Like, I don't think he's the protagonist. I don't think he's like the heart of the movie. I think he's
No,
the
he's the
catalyst. He helps things
anti-hero.
move along.
He's the anti-hero.
And he's the
Yeah.
most interesting character. But now, like, I think he's like the Marty McFly. That's what I would compare him to. Where like he's the most interesting, but like Marty.
Looking at
Back
it,
to the
yes.
Future is not about Marty. Back to the Future is about Biff, Lorraine, and George. And Marty's just there helping make things happen. But like,
But I would almost
it's
say
their
Jack
story.
is more Doc Brown in that
Okay, yeah.
analogy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'll take that. Doc Brown.
Where that movie is most certainly, when you watch it, that's the character you remember the most. Like the first time watching it, let's get on a Back to the Future kick. I'm just saying, like he's
Always.
the glue that makes it what it is. You take Jack Sparrow out of it, that's a kind of
Yeah, I
boring
feel like
movie.
if you didn't have Jack Sparrow in this
Mhm.
movie,
Oh,
like,
you need Jack Sparrow in the movie, absolutely.
like, but
Yeah.
yeah, but if you were like to take him out or have someone else play him, I don't think it would work.
Oh, they were
Like,
gonna
I
have
think it would just-
Matthew
would-
McConaughey apparently.
No.
No.
Hashtag not my
Right.
Sparrow.
Magic in the music is here. Hi, Jen. Woo! Hashtag not my Sparrow.
Yeah.
I like
But
that.
I actually don't like. I mean, Jack is not my favorite character in this movie.
Really?
No.
No, like I love him as like a character, but
Mhm.
I was rewatching this and I was actually like, "You are so annoying." Like he is so annoying.
Scandalous. I'll have none of this scandal.
Well, I went in expecting him to be annoying, and that's because again we're in a place now where he's just a giant meme because it's like it's the Johnny Depp thing. Every character Johnny plays has some era of, but just thinking back to when this first came out, I remember everyone was just abuzz with how much Johnny Depp transformed himself for this performance comparative to
Mhm.
what we had seen before. Because I think prior to us thinking of him as being like very, he was very like.
Well, he had
Like
done
very
like
Tim
Fear
Burton,
and
like very
Loathing
still.
already. Yeah,
Oh,
he'd
that's
done
true.
still. He'd done Fear and Loathing, but he had not yet done when this came out. He had not yet done Willy Wonka, and I feel like that was not necessarily. I mean, are they both a little eccentric? Sure, but that's I mean, you could say the same thing about most Jim Carrey characters.
he
They're
do
all a little
Edward
eccentric.
Did he do Edward Scissorhand before this?
Oh
Or
yes,
after?
like a full
Like 20
decade
years
before,
this
yeah,
almost. Yeah.
or 20.
It was like
'Cause this is
89,
the
I
first
think,
movie
or
I ever
88.
saw
It was-
Johnny Depp in. And then I
Yeah.
saw Willy Wonka, and then I saw Edward Scissorhands, and then I saw Sweeney Todd, and I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, Sweeney, that's a movie that happened.
We'll get into that during Sondheim
Sondheim
week. I
months.
love that movie.
Sondheim September. I don't know if I
love
want.
him in that movie. I was like, you go, dude. Like, you do it.
There's no place like London. Of charity toward the world, my pet. Yes,
That
yes,
part's a
I
little
will.
Jack Sparrow.
We'll get the things that we can get. Oh, Johnny. Only seen it once. That's my
Oh.
impersonation of what I assume his Sweeney Todd is like.
I've seen it too many times.
It's quite a frightful movie.
At last, my left arm is complete again. Yeah. We'll see. Oh, don't get me started on the film of Sweeney.
Oh no.
Save
I'm
it for
not making any
Sondheim
friends.
September. Save it for Sondheim September. I can't wait for Sondheim September. It's going to be so good. Except we're going to be talking about the musical. Well, we can talk about the movies as well because there are a lot of movies. So yeah, Johnny Depp. Anything else we want to say about Johnny before we talk about favorite characters that aren't Jack Sparrow in this movie?
I mean, nothing that hasn't been said. I think it's like
Yeah.
the most iconic it might be the most iconic live action Disney character. I mean,
Yeah.
like I
Mary
could stand.
Poppins.
Sure, I would argue he's on the same tier as her at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not ahead of her, but definitely.
I mean,
singly.
I think of iconic Disney characters, especially live action ones, as ones that you can find in the park, and depending on how long the wait is to meet them, Jack Sparrow's wait time is always longer than
Do you
Mary
want to
Poppins.
know? I have been like literally, I've been on my way walking to him. I can see him. And then like mobs of children get in my way. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that person that pushes these children over. But
Be
if
that
I don't,
person.
but if I don't meet Jack Sparrow soon, I might be that person.
Well, now you can hug
because
him. Now
I
you
want
can
to
hug
go
him
talk to
today.
Jack Sparrow so bad.
I always missed Jack Sparrow, like just narrowly. And yeah, the last time I was there, it wasn't an official meet and greet. He was just kind of walking through the pirate store. And I think he was on his way like off stage, but then like 2 or 3 people were taking pictures. Then slowly a line started to form.
Yeah.
And then the attendant that was with him, like just turned to me and the others and said, no, like, guys, this isn't a thing. He's on his way. And then so Jack just took a picture with someone and then he just decided, okay, I'm done. They just walked away. I was like, yes, this is actually the best Jack Sparrow encounter I could have. Him brushing me off.
Well, I
because
love
he's
it
busy.
because his stage like has direct sunlight like during the majority of the day.
Yeah.
And so when it gets too hot, he'll go into the corner. And so you can only meet him in like literally this like little 2x4 space in the corner behind the stage. And it's like the sketchiest thing ever. And that's where he was during the pandemic to meet him. And I saw him this past weekend. That's where he was meeting kids because it was too hot for him to stand in the stage.
Oh, he's from the Caribbean. He can suck it up.
Well, and so I was like, that is the most Jack Sparrow thing ever, is to be so sketchy in the corner of like where you would go up onto the stage, like just to be chilling in the corner. And sometimes when he doesn't have a line, he's just like, hey. And it scares you because you're just like.
So I would say he's definitely got some weight, like as far as iconic live action characters, I'd say on par with Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Well done. So then who's everyone's favorite character that's not Jack Sparrow in this movie?
I would have to say Gibbs. I think
Which one's Gibbs?
Gibbs, the guy that's in the pig pen when they find him does everything with him. Yeah, like
that was for the smell. Yeah.
He's hilarious. I find him to be hilarious. And I think he's got a lot of heart. And honestly, he saves the day at the end of the day, right? He pulls up in the boat, comes back for Jack. So yeah, I think Gibbs is. And I will say I'll make the same analogy with Orlando Bloom as I did with Anakin. He's a lot like a Hayden Christensen performance in this.
How dare you?
I feel like that performance, looking back at it, that's one thing that may not have held up. It's all very painfully like fake altruism. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I thought he was so
guy.
Good.
He's so
like for the role that he's playing, like he definitely has to play a type. It's like Leo in Titanic, where I think the actor is better than. Well, actually, I don't think Leo's a good actor, but this is like I know I'm in the minority.
We're not going down that road.
But I do think it's the same thing where Leo wanted to play Jack a certain way, then James Cameron was like, "No, you're the ingenue. You play it," and that's definitely what Orlando Bloom was, because I think Orlando Bloom is a solid actor for the most part, and he's definitely playing like that role of that guy, and I think he brings a lot more, I don't know, good acting to it than Hayden does as Anakin.
Isn't this his first film? Like his
Orlando?
first big film?
No,
he had just done Lord of the Rings a few years prior to this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, but
no, like all the before he made this, he was like the thing for all the girls of my generation. Oh,
I think Johnny was very much still the thing.
Oh,
yeah,
I remember,
at least for me and my friends, we had posters of Edward Scissorhands on our wall. So maybe I'm the wrong girl to ask.
Oh no, all of my friends, like when Lord of the Rings came out, they were all like Legolas. They like every girl that I went to high school with was so into Orlando Bloom that I felt like he was cast in this to like cater to that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. He was And
I like right around this, he did Troy.
I don't remember him having a big role though. Like, isn't Legolas like he's only in like a few scenes? Doesn't have a lot.
No, he's a main character.
He's part of the Fellowship.
Yeah,
I'm not
one of the 9.
I've never gotten through a Star Wars or through a Lord of the Rings.
Oh, me neither, because I only watch good movies.
They're very long.
I just know that Elijah Wood gets mistaken for Daniel Radcliffe all the time.
That makes a lot of sense. I can see that.
Hobbit Potter, yeah. So, Morgan, who's your favorite character that's not Jack Sparrow? Or you even said your favorite's not Jack Sparrow, so.
Yeah, so my favorite is actually Elizabeth, because I actually love her. I think she's so strong and strong-willed, and she's not going to let anyone tell her what to do. Now, in later films, because I have seen bits and pieces of the third one, and then I've seen the second one. I don't like her as much in those, but like this one, I felt like she was very much like, if you could pick a lead, I feel like she was the lead. Like, because she was at the beginning, she's at the very end, she's always in the middle. Like, you're all kind of following what she's doing more, I think, than Jack necessarily. But I also, and I think she knows how to play the game of like the world she lives in, and I like that about her. And she's like, I'm gonna get in front of you two so that they don't shoot you, and I'm like, that's like, whoa, like they could have easily just shot you too, like, or hung you too, and they're like, no, I love him now, so he's not getting hung, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. I mean, he's still a pirate, so now I'm confused.
No, his place is halfway between Norrington and Jack. I was like a little on the nose, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like her character a lot in this film, and I will say only this film. I like her character. Like, especially in the rum scene when they're trapped on the island.
Oh yeah.
She's like, let me see if I can get anything out of you, and I'm gonna play you.
Well, when she's playing drunk, and then yeah.
And you think, and I thought, like, for the longest time I thought she was drunk, and then I watched it again, and I was like, oh no, she's not. Like, she's like,
well, no, she's getting him to drink.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how the bottle went from full to half empty, but hey, whatever.
A little over the shoulder action.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in Coyote Ugly. When they give you a shot, then you chase it with the beer, but then put the drink into the beer bottle.
Oh, I love
Coyote
that.
Ugly,
I
anyone?
love that you just made that reference because I adore that movie so much.
Yeah. Good movie.
But I love her, and then I also love Gibbs. I think he's hysterical.
He's so funny. I also didn't realize till this watch that he's the pig scene guy. How I never put those two things together, I don't know. But I literally just realized that.
Because there's so many characters that look the same.
The two that the Muppet and the guy with the eyeball, like, I love them in later films, and I thought they had more comment. Like, I love them in this film, but they do scare the living heck out of me. Like, they do. And I like, especially in the beginning, I'm like, wow, you're really creepy, and I don't like it.
Hello, Pulpit. The gold calls to us, Pulpit. So
I love when he tells him, he goes, we're about to get all this treasure, and then you can buy yourself an eye. What fits right and is made of glass? And he goes, this one splinters something off that part.
I feel so bad for him. His
eye. My God. I think it's little things like that give this whole thing heart. So you're not just like, here's some random pirates. I don't give two cruds about these guys, but these people, and it in later movies too, I think they drive home that the East India Trading Company is just a bunch of weasels.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember anything about the East India Trading Company in the other movies. I know it's coming, I'm sure, but yeah, I noticed they mentioned it like once in this film. I thought that's going to have a payoff. I also love how this movie, I'm almost positive it wasn't intentional, how they just had the compass that is seemingly useless, and then how they retconned that. I'm guessing it was a retcon in the other movies to like be so much more important than they alluded to. Like,
well, in this one, it points towards the gold.
Yeah.
Or no, it points towards that port. It points towards the city where the ship goes.
It points towards whatever he desires, because then they go to Tortuga, they get a ship, and then it takes them to where the pirates are. Like, it takes them to that spot. So
yeah, but I feel like they didn't put that into. Well, I know they literally didn't put it into words until like a later movie, but I feel like when they were doing this movie, they were just like, it's a compass. We don't have to explain it. There. It goes where it needs to go. It's like the room of requirement.
That's literally what I think he says. Like, it brings him where he needs, or it points towards the gold or something.
It's like, this doesn't point north. It's like, but we're not going north. And then they just leave it at that. I'm like, that is good writing. I love that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, oh yeah, my favorite character. That's not Jack Sparrow. I mean, runner-up is definitely Elizabeth. And this movie reminded me that Keira Knightley is like insanely talented and always has been.
I love Keira Knightley.
I forgot.
Ah,
Like, I think I got so caught up, especially after this. She became more of a public figure who I think was known more for the nightly pout than for how good she is at acting. But like, she's such a good actor.
yeah.
Like, she carries this, especially considering that she was like 15 or 16 when she shot this. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, she was 16 or
Wait,
I
no
something
thought
like
way.
she
that.
did. No, she wasn't, because she did
Yes, she
Love
was.
Actually before this, didn't she?
No, she was like 16 when this was shot.
Wow.
So
So
I
Love
remember her
Actually came
saying,
out after this?
yeah,
Huh.
I think a year or two after this, yeah. Because and it was also like it came out in 2003. It was probably shot, I would guess, in 2000 between 2000 to 2001.
Oh,
But I
that's
remember
true.
her
Yeah.
in
Keira
subsequent
Knightley
years.
was in Star Wars.
Yeah, she was Amidala's
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
avatar or
the switch
whatever.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I remember her saying when she was doing press for one of the like the third movie or something like that, she said, "It's so weird for me to now be in my 20s and I have to think back to what I was doing as an actor when I was 16." I'm like,
she
you were
was
that young?
18. She was 18.
18 when it
Either
came
way,
out or
still
when
a
it was shot?
teenager.
But yeah, she was a teenager.
It says on this page from Cinema Blend,
Yeah,
that she actually in some of her huge roles at a very young age, her roles in the first Pirates of the Caribbean and Love Actually happening when she was only 18.
I need to find this out.
And then she was 14 in
For
Star
Star Wars. I need to do an age check on Knightley. I need to know now. It affects on how impressed I am with her acting.
Yeah, no, she's but still, I mean,
When
like
she filmed it, she was 17, and then by the time it came out, she was 18.
Oh, that seems about right.
but
There we go.
still a teenager when all this is
Teenager, and she's carrying the bleeping movie so well. Like, and I remember I knew of her before this from A Wonderful World of Disney TV movie called Princess of Thieves, where she played Robin Hood's daughter. And that was another, and I almost feel like that's what got her this job because she's playing a very similar character. Like,
Nice.
she's not as refined because she's Robin Hood's daughter, but still, like, that's a whole movie just about a girl going out and like butting heads with scary guys and coming out on top. And like, she's just, Elizabeth is such a good character and she's fantastic and definitely more engaging than Orlando Bloom. But I don't blame Orlando Bloom. I think he did the best he could with the role for what it was. But no, my favorite character.
This is very much his trying to find himself in the role movie, and then in later movies he like really puts himself into it.
Yeah, he also gave up on acting like not shortly after this, but pretty much he hasn't done anything for like between 3 to 5 years.
But don't you worry, his name's been in the press.
Oh, has it? What's he doing?
He was engaged
to Katy Perry.
No, not
Wasn't it Katy
Really?
Perry?
I don't think so. I
thought it was Katy Perry.
J-Lo.
No, I think it was Katy Perry.
Well, good for him.
Good for Orlando Bloom.
Good for Orlando. But no, my favorite character. It's the same as Vince's. I love Barbossa. Jeffrey Rush and Barbossa.
He was engaged
so good.
Or he is engaged to Katy Perry, and they now have a baby.
Aw, little Orlando. Love it. Where was I? Oh yeah, Jeffrey Rush. I want to talk about Jeffrey Rush because I love him. Oh, I dropped my water bottle. Jeffrey Rush doesn't get enough love for this movie because he's overshadowed by Jack Sparrow, but he's the perfect foil to Jack Sparrow. I adore him.
Yeah.
I just think as out there as Captain Jack Sparrow is, I just think Barbossa balances it by being a little bit more subtle, even though he is still very piratey and very out there. But all those little moments, like when he's watching Elizabeth eat, I just feel the tragedy of his character, even though he's the villain. You just feel for him.
That whole
think Jeffrey
scene in that
Rush-
it's like like phenomenal on
it's
his
so
part.
good. Yeah, where he's like, and the apple is one of those next.
Yeah.
There be no, that's so good. And I think Jeffrey Rush is such a good actor because he's able to play the style without going so far overboard that it's like not grounded. I think like he's playing a zombie pirate. It would be so easy for that to go off the rails, but there's just, I think you feel the tragedy in him and the longing for being dead inside. Like at the end when he says, "I feel cold."
Mm-hmm.
That was where my heart broke. Because you just see just in his eyes, you see that he's like feeling everything because he finally gets to die, but he's been defeated, but it's finally a release that he's wanted, but it's just like, Jeffrey Rush.
Is
You're
he
so
not in
good.
other movies? I thought
He
was
comes.
in.
Yeah, I think he comes back. Yeah,
He
no
comes
spoilers.
back?
But yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, wait, I don't remember him dying. Like,
Yeah, no,
I was
he does.
so confused.
Yeah.
He no spoilers, but yeah, he comes. Okay, spoilers. Yeah, he comes back.
He comes
Okay.
back, but yeah.
It's kind of the moment that the series really takes a nosedive. This is like you're setting yourself up to undo everything you did before. Okay, there it is. No payoff. Yeah. What's Bob Hunt have to say? Hi, Bob. Because 21 Jump Street was filmed in Vancouver, I associate Johnny Depp more with TV shows than I know nothing about 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump. You don't know of 21 Jump Street?
I know it exists. I know that one of my
Wait,
acting teachers
but
was in an episode
Johnny
of the TV
Depp-
show.
I don't remember Johnny Depp being.
This was
Not
far.
the movie,
It
the
was a
TV
long time before your time, Missy.
Oh, I'm like, I only
It's a
know
long
21
time.
Jump
It
Street
was
as
before
the-
my time. I shouldn't be talking. It was like around when I was born. So
Yeah.
No, I'm like thinking of the new 21 Jump Street, I guess, then with like Channing Tatum.
Yes,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? He's
yeah.
not in that.
no,
Yeah, no, not that.
no.
The original.
The
one it's based
original
on.
TV show that is based on. That is
Yeah.
a parody of. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't realize Johnny was in that. I was going to say next. So, as we've established, fantastic movie based on a Disney park ride. There are so many movies that are based on Disney park rides, and they usually tank both critically or financially or both. Why is this the one that worked compared to the others? Like, why do we think that this was able to spawn a multi-million-dollar franchise that continues to hold people's interest compared to other properties? Like, I feel like on the surface, if you go back to 2001, 2002, Haunted Mansion probably would have seemed like the easier moneymaker because no one cared about pirates before this movie came out.
Oh.
Yeah, but
I was like trying to think. I'm like, what other movies? Like,
oh yeah, so we have
So-
Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy, Tomorrowland, Tower of Terror
But
TV movie.
though,
But
so
still.
Tower of Terror came out before this.
Yeah.
they're making a new Tower of Terror movie.
I know,
Can't
and
wait.
Produced and directed, I think, by Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett.
And so the
And they're making a new Haunted Mansion, by the way.
yes, or no,
As
is that
they
the one she's
Damn
doing?
well should.
It
No,
can't
she's
might be-
doing
she's
doing
Tower.
Tower.
Okay.
Yeah. Owen
But-
Wilson and Tiffany Haddish are in the new Haunted Mansion.
Prior to this, I do believe that the only Disney ride movie that was made after the ride was made was Tower of Terror. And I thought that one was really good, but correct me if I'm wrong, it was a Disney Channel movie, right? It was never released.
It
in
was a
theaters.
wonderful. It was an ABC movie. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then it was Pirates years later, and then everything else
Oh, no.
came after it.
Country Bears was before Pirates.
Oh
Pirates
my God.
Pirates almost didn't get made because how
How
bad
bad-
Country
You
Bears
saying
was.
these films are terrible because I love all of these films.
So,
I've never seen Country Bears.
Side
Oh,
note,
it's so
my
good.
friend, oh my God,
Oh.
it's so bad. My
Wow, I love this.
my friend and I were at the mall and we got pulled into they have our mall was like a headquarters for some survey thing, and they pull people aside and show them like previews of movies like well before they were announced or anything. And so we got pulled into a room and we got shown a preview for the Country Bears and then given a survey about it afterwards. And we were like, this is so bad. These bears are really frightening. Please don't make this movie.
I
Like,
love it. They're so
we're
good. I just
like-
want to hug one. That's why I was so confused when I saw them in like actual Disney World for the first time, like as a meet and
they
greet.
look
I was
so
like,
different.
What is
Both
this? Why
creepy.
do they look
Both
so
creepy.
dumb? Like what the heck? Because they're not dumb in the movie, and they're so. Oh, you gotta watch the whole movie. Watch the whole movie. Did you watch the whole movie, or you just saw the preview?
I've never seen.
No, I
this
watched
movie.
it after it came out, and it was
It's so good. I loved it.
anyway. In reference to the movie, so Country Bear, I didn't know it came out before Pirates
Yeah,
of the
and
Caribbean.
Eisner specifically said we're not making Pirates of the Caribbean anymore, but then they went behind his back and kept working on it until they
Yeah.
had something to show him to prove it would be a good movie, and then they won him over, and he was like,
I-
"No, okay, you can make it."
More directly, I think the thing that Haunted Mansion suffered from was from having to live up to Pirates of the Caribbean, and it just
Hmm.
isn't. It's just not there. Like, and had Pirates of the Caribbean not existed, people might not have thought so poorly about Haunted Mansion. I know I might have given it a better chance. Because
Wait,
I
you don't
love the
like
Tower
it?
of
I think
Laura.
I think Haunted Mansion fails for the reasons Pirates succeeds. Because, like I was saying, Pirates I think is good because it has this timeless quality because it is taking the genre and taking itself seriously.
Yeah.
And Pirates is so, or not Pirates, Haunted Mansion is so tongue in cheek, and it's just like it's like they had Eddie Murphy ride the Disney ride and give his commentary making fun of it, except they turned that into a movie. So to
Yeah.
me, it's not an adequate. It doesn't
That
stay
movie
true to
is
the spirit.
scary. That
It
movie
doesn't.
is scary.
It
Oh
gets
my
kind of
goodness.
scary. Like, great, yes, we see the gates of hell. That's fine. Although that has nothing to do with the ride.
Also,
Also,
but also the
yeah.
tomb scene. The tomb scene is like terrifying.
Yeah, but it's
That is
not
like my worst
earned.
nightmare.
Because the tomb scene, like, there's nothing in the ride to support that. All the things that are scary, I think, in the
Wow.
Pirates movie, you have hints of it in the ride, like the skeletons at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Pirates, like, not the Pirates, in the Haunted Mansion movie, they threw in zombies that have nothing to do with any of the mythology that was established in the ride. The ride is
Yeah.
just ghosts. Either you see them or you don't see them, but they're ghosts. No
Well,
physical
I didn't
form.
think it was
ghosts.
supposed to be. I didn't think it was supposed to be like directly based off the ride, and I guess maybe that's because I was
Well,
so
no,
young,
they
like,
tried to do that because Pirates did it. Like, it was so everything was peppered in
Oh.
so nicely. It wasn't so direct. So they tried to replicate that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it tried to be Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was not that. And then Tomorrowland, I don't even.
I
that-
didn't
I
mind
don't know what the
Tomorrowland. I
goal
liked it.
was on that.
It was to say stop destroying the planet.
Yeah,
It's a little
I
too
don't.
preachy, but
It's George
Yeah.
Clooney. What
that
you
had
gonna do?
nothing. That had nothing to do with. I didn't think people said that it was like they branded it as something that was supposed to be about Disney Tomorrowland, but I did not get that when I watched that movie.
Oh,
I was
like,
oh,
I
this
thought the
is not
spirit
right.
was there. Like, we got the fun, it's a small world thing at the beginning, and then the fact that, like, the small world ride leads to that fun, like, secret
But Small World's
society.
not in Tomorrowland.
Not in Tomorrow.
Well, it's not in Tomorrowland, but still has like that retro Disney vibe, and then it had
World's
like the
Fair
animatronics,
vibe,
the
yeah.
World's Fair. I think it was more about the idea of like Walt Disney as a futurist and playing
Yeah.
into that, and how
And-
that kind of bridges with Tomorrowland.
Yeah, I think Pirates did a really good job of making you feel the ride without trying to be either the ride or something that had preceded it.
Yeah.
And at the time, I don't think big epics like that were really in at the time, if I'm correct. Like, you were still very much in that whole like Matrix era. Everybody wanted everything to look new and shiny. So I feel like these period piece adventure films were like not it at the time. Maybe because, like you
Yeah.
said, Lord of the Rings had kind of started that.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
probably what it was.
people were a little more comfortable with that whole idea of like having period-esque, you know.
Yeah, no, because we had Pirates, and then shortly after that there was Troy. Then there was
Oh
King
yeah,
Arthur that
Troy.
came out. Master and
boy.
Commander. Oh, I loved Troy.
I loved
what I
Troy
remember.
too, but probably for not the same reason.
I love a historical epic.
Right.
Here's
No, it came out
Muppet
in
Haunted Mansion, so good.
2003.
Which
What
one?
did?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't know that, girl?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why
no.
next year's
Why?
20 years.
Oh.
K-Dog and Fish are here. Woo! Go Pirates. We love you, K-Dog and Fish. Or I do. I think they know who you are. I can't remember. They sell Funkos in Canada, and they have the best YouTube channel. We love K-Dog and Fish.
All
Follow them.
Funkos are good
Yes.
Funkos.
Oh, Mandy's here. Hi, Mandy. So many friends.
I
Love
also
it.
think that like it depends on how they approach the movie. Like I feel like they approached this movie like very much like we are just gonna go for it and we're not gonna like try to make it kid like friendly.
Mhm.
Whereas I think with the Haunted Mansion, that's where they also failed, was because they couldn't make it as scary as they probably wanted to make it. Like the whole bride thing really, like, you're as it is with the whole like
Yeah.
embodying someone else, like that's already like drawn a line of like borderline scarring kids. I feel.
Yeah,
So,
no, and they
and then-
fully
and
like
then-
show him hanging himself at the beginning. So like it has the darkness
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little bit, but I think I think like that's a PG movie. Had they gone as far as they did with Pirates and like just embraced that it should be a PG-13, it might have been stronger.
Yeah.
And yeah, we never got to see Guillermo. Well, we did get to see Guillermo's Haunted Mansion movie. It's Crimson Peak, but the internet doesn't agree with me on that. I have a video. I suggest
But
everyone
like
watch it.
I relate this one. Like I feel like you can't really. The closest thing you can match Pirates to is Jungle Cruise, in my opinion, because all the other ones like are nowhere near the same like really genre. Like,
they're both
Haunted
adventure
Mansion-
movies.
Yeah.
I think that's where
Yeah.
the similarities end.
Yeah, and I think the
No, there's
problem,
weird zombie things in both.
and I think the problem with Jungle Cruise was that they did it because of the success of Jumanji, the Jumanji remakes. Because Jumanji 1 came out and they were like, oh, that did great. Well, Jungle Cruise is pretty much like the same thing. And Jumanji 2 came out and like, and I feel like it was too, and then they had The Rock in both of them. And I felt like it was just too close.
Well, I feel like
They were too
The
close
Rock.
together.
I think The Rock was definitely in Jungle Cruise because of the Jumanji movies.
Yeah.
I do feel like the Jungle Cruise would have happened regardless because Disney was at a point when they were like, we need a new franchise that will be the next Pirates that's close enough, but not Pirates. Even though they basically just made Pirates, but on a Jungle Cruise boat. And that's my issue with Jungle Cruise. I'm like, we don't need these weird zombie things. You did this better in Pirates. Give me something that is equally unique, but is unique, because that's why Pirates was good.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that if Jumanji hadn't come out before Jungle Cruise, Jungle Cruise may have been received better by people than whereas it coming out after it, it's kind of like, and it came out around the exact same time as Jumanji 2 coming out. And they both, I don't know if you watched them, but like they both kind of follow a very, very similar storyline, like almost identical. And
Jumanji made more sense than Jungle Cruise.
Yes.
Jungle Cruise had rules that it didn't really explain, and Jungle Cruise was very convoluted.
Well, they're all trying to live up to Pirates, and it just hasn't happened again yet.
But I feel like also
Disney Dad
Pirates
has
like,
my heart. He knows.
To know about the ride. I feel like for Pirates, you didn't have to know about the ride to like the movie and watch the movies. Whereas Jungle Cruise, if you didn't know about the ride, you didn't get it. Like it went straight over your head, and it did not hit as nicely as it does when you know about the ride.
Yeah. And Jungle Cruise, the movie, I think missed such a big opportunity, even though I still want to believe that they have bigger plans for the franchise. But they missed a giant opportunity.
Franchise. Now I'm scared because I think they should leave it.
Are you not following my Seaverse series, Morgan? I'll link you. I have theories. But the problem with the Jungle Cruise, not problem, but the interesting choice they made with the Jungle Cruise movie is that it doesn't take place in the same era as the ride, because the ride takes place in the 1930s, the movie takes place in 1918. And so Disney, when they did their whole rebrand of the ride last year, like they came up with a really cool backstory for like Alberta Falls and all of that, and we got none of that in the movie, which we should have. But
and that's what I mean. Like if you haven't visited Disney World and rode the ride, which it's like a 75 to 100 minute wait now every single time, which
it's
I
been
also
ridiculous
hate.
the past week.
That's one of my favorite rides.
Well, that's what it was like when I went in 2020 was my last time there, like early 2020. And yeah, I didn't go on Jungle Cruise because the wait was over an hour and a half, 2 hours. I was like, this ride's not worth that.
No, it used to only be 50 minutes before they made the dang movie. But if you haven't ridden the ride, you really don't know what's going on when you jump into the Jungle Cruise. And it's only because I rode the ride and then I watched Jungle Cruise and I was like, oh, okay, like this all makes sense because they're doing this and they're doing this and that's in the ride now. But I also don't like that they made the ride match the movie, like before the movie even came out, and they saw how audience perceived it. I didn't like too much.
Oh no, I haven't been on the revamped Jungle Cruise, but I'm like, from what I've seen, I like what they did, that they didn't just put in a rock animatronic or an Emily Blunt animatronic. And that is kind of the one thing that I like about the fact that the movie was set in a different era, because then you can believe that it exists in the same universe, but it excuses why I don't have to tolerate the Emily Blunt and Rock robots talking to me while I'm on my Jungle Cruise. So, yeah. Yeah. So Pirates reign supreme. That's the main thing. It's the only time a Disney ride movie has worked so far.
Yeah.
So far. Like, what do we think the sequels are like? There's supposed to be two more pirate movies, one of which will have what's her face, Wolf of Wall Street, Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie.
Her. What do we think that's going to be? I think she's going to be Red or another character that I have in the back of my head. But do we think it'll work? Do we think pirates should just be left to rest?
I think it'll work. I think you could expand the universe still. Any good franchise, I think, is worth trying to expound upon. You just got to know if it's not great. But I mean, I think she'll do it. She'll do it well.
Yeah, I haven't watched like the last 2 or 3 movies, so I'm not really sure where we've left off here.
Neither am I.
For the Pirates of the Caribbean, for her to like come in, because that kind of seems odd. Like when you said that, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That's a choice, yeah.
That's like very, because like in this one, they're very much like women can't be on ships. It's bad luck. They shouldn't be pirates. And I know that changes mainly because I think Elizabeth Swan makes it change, but other people do too. But I could see them pulling from like a character from the ride or from the film already and just saying, this is now this person.
Like, I'd like to see her play Red, the redheaded pirate, minus the fact that that character exists in the universe already as Scarlet. And that's kind of where I want to think of them as 2 different characters, because the actress who played Scarlet, I don't think she's high profile enough to have her carry the franchise as Red.
Yeah.
But maybe they could be sisters. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Or something.
That would be a good tie-in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think no matter what, people are gonna hate on it because it doesn't have Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Oh, and I think people are just done with pirates. I didn't realize how dumb people were with pirates till I was watching The Good Place, and then I think season 3 they go to the bad place, and there's a poster in the subway for Pirates of the Caribbean, like number 534 or something like that.
Aww.
And that was just for me when I realized how done pop culture is with pirates.
Well, I thought they had already ended it. That's why when people are like, oh, he doesn't get to say goodbye, I was like, did we not do that? Like, I thought that was like what the last movie was about. Like, I'm so lost.
Yeah, the last movie has pirate sharks. I didn't watch it, but the 4th one has mermaids. That's something.
Yeah, I like that one.
Everyone likes mermaids. And it's directed by Rob Marshall. He's my favorite director, even though most of his movies aren't good, but he's still a good director. Yeah, love him. What do we have here? Bob Hunt says, I think we had to wait too long for Jungle Cruise because the theater shut down and we created our own stories before the... Well, I know I certainly did. Again, I have an entire series, and my movie was better. Yeah. I will say that. All right, let's do the game.
Game time.
Let me get my notes. Okay. So this is one of those games where you get to give one of 2 answers. I'm calling it R or NAR.
Gotcha.
R or NAR. Oh, see, yeah. Wait. Bob Hunt heard my review. Bob Hunt knows that my Jungle Cruise movie was better than the real one. Why are you laughing? It's true. I'm right. Disney Dado says the score of this film is great. Which one?
Yeah,
Pirates
I did want to say that. No, Pirates. Yeah. It's. I feel this is the thing that I always think iconic. I always think other people are being pretentious when they say it, but I'm going to say it about this movie is the music is its own character. It brings stuff to a scene that it wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
Now I was driving back home from my mom's a week or so ish ago, and it's like an hour and a half drive. I spent an hour listening to one of those YouTube playlists or videos of just like the Pirates theme for an hour, and it didn't get old. It was just the same. Do 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 do. I was like, I'll turn it off after the next go around. And then I was back. It was like a full 45 minutes of me just like rocking out to Pirates on the Highway.
As someone who had to listen to that over and over and over again for 6 months straight.
Where?
It does get old.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Where did you have that privilege?
We did a whole like Peter Pan dance to it, a like dance theme.
It's not from
the
Peter
title
Pan.
theme. I know it's not, but when you have like 20 classes, you have to get creative with your songs. And one of them being ballet, we did a Pirates themed mashup. And my class, because it was like 2 classes that came together, my class had the privilege of doing that one. So I heard
you're so lucky.
nonstop
You had the best song.
from January to May, and I was just like, or January to June, and I was like, oh my god! By the time that dance is over, I was so happy to be.
There are so many worse songs to listen to for 6 months, though. Imagine if you had to listen to like Cabin Fever from Muppet Treasure Island for 6 months.
I don't know. But I trust you. Like I've listened to pretty bad. Like
It's okay. We'll have Muppet Movie Month eventually.
Oh yeah, that'll happen. So many months.
Bad songs that I've had to listen to nonstop to.
Come on in. He's on down the road.
That was one of them.
That's another song that I've listened to for an hour straight while driving. When I get into a song, like I'll just listen to it.
But it's not like I listen to the whole thing though. I listen to like 5 seconds and then someone messes up or does something wrong and then we have to do it again.
Oh, but then you get to go from the beginning. Oh, I would love that. I'm going to listen to it. Like, I'm just going to stop and repeat it endlessly once we're done. This is going to be so good. Oh, Mary's in favor of Muppet Movie Month.
Yes.
Great Muppet caper, anyone? So good. All right, here we go. So, R or
nar.
Nar. I'm going to... so I guess the preface for this, part of the reason that Disney was resistant to this movie being made, or Michael Eisner at least, is because pirate movies had a notoriously bad track record historically for being really bad. So I'm going to name a movie, and you have to tell me if it has a pirate in it. If it does, it's R. If it doesn't, it's Nar.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the case where, like, it has a pirate in it, for the most part, like, they're fairly prevalent. Like, it's not like there's a pirate in the background. Like, all these movies that do have pirates, from what I can tell, they're like important to the plot. It's not like someone dresses up as a pirate at a Halloween party. Like, if there's a pirate, it's relevant. Okay, so R or Nar. Here we go. Number 1. Which order do I want to go in? Start here. Mysterious Island. Oh, you probably haven't heard of most of these movies, too.
Never heard of Mysterious.
Oh, great.
Okay.
I was like, is that the movie?
Yeah,
like,
the movie's Mysterious Island. Mysterious Island is the movie.
Okay, ready?
Oh, yeah, feel free to play along in the comments. Let's
And
go. R.
You put R.
Is that R? Is that yes?
R.
R.
I was like, is there an A? And I
Yeah,
was
there's
like,
a-
no, there can't be an A.
You're both right. There's pirates in Mysterious Island. Okay, next. The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like you could argue. No? Yes.
I'm going. You
I'm
ready?
3, 2, 1. Yeah, because he's the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen that movie.
Oh, I mean, most people would be like, "What?" But I'm like, I'm indifferent. It's not as good as people say it.
I've seen parts of
Mhm.
it, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
I agree with
I've seen the
that.
chastity belt scene. Is that, or maybe that's Robin Hood.
No, that's Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yep.
Kind of probably a
Better movie.
Yeah.
Better movie.
I think the people who love Princess Bride love to quote it. And I think if you're someone who has had the experience of watching it with people who love quoting it as well, then it's a fun watching experience. I've only ever watched it by myself, and I just think, why?
You're gonna watch a movie from that period. Watch The Neverending Story.
Oh, the horse dies or something, though. I can't put
Oh.
myself through that. Okay, next, The African Queen.
Okay.
Okay.
R or Nar. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you're both right. There's no pirate in The African Queen.
I was gonna say, I feel like I saw that one.
Did you?
Catherine
it's the movie
Hepburn?
it's the movie that Jungle Cruise is based off of.
Like the actual ride, Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, the ride. And
Yeah.
the movie kind of takes elements basically the design of the boat.
Sure.
Pretty much
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Oh, and The Rock's costume. He's dressed like Humphrey Bogart in that movie.
Yeah, I think we watched it in like my U.S. history class.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense.
Next, the Black Swan.
Like the new one, or like the
Yeah, I
OG,
know.
or the ballet.
I said what I said. Arr or nar.
Ready?
I'm going off of the
3,
most
2,
current.
1. Oh no, it's an R.
Really? Where is it?
Yeah, it's one of those classic pirate movies. The Black Swan is the ship.
Oh, I thought it was the Natalie Portman Mila
No,
Kunis.
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
Black.
was going
That's
with.
Black Swan.
That's why I was like, mad.
Oh, well, I was like, there's no pirates in that.
Yeah, no, that one is just Black Swan. This is the Black Swan.
But then
Ah.
you have the ballet. That is the Black Swan.
No, that's Swan Lake.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Swan Lake.
Yeah, the Black Swan's a character in Swan Lake,
Yeah.
Yes.
or the Swan Princess. Same
Yeah.
thing.
And that's what for a second, I was like,
I
this
always
is-
call it the Black Swan. I remember from Swan Lake.
I haven't seen Swan Lake, but I feel like that's probably the only part that's interesting when the Black Swan comes out. So that's what Black Swan the movie taught me. All right, next, Swiss Family Robinson.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Oh, one of you is right. It's Morgan. It's R.
Ah.
Yeah,
I
the
like-
whole third act climax is when the island gets attacked by the pirates. Remember-
Yeah, it's been ages.
They find Roberta / Birdie because she's kidnapped with her uncle by pirates, and that's why she has to dress up like a boy because the pirates can't know she's a girl. And only as an adult did I understand the implications of that. And I was like, whoa, Disney, you went there. Yeah,
Never watched the movie.
so good. Well,
I just
very
remember seeing
problematic,
something
but so
about
good.
pirates went on the walkthrough thingamajig.
Oh, of the treehouse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something about pirates went in somewhere. I was like, let's just go for it.
I always think Matt's questions are trick questions. The Kahoot quiz from Trivia Night asked me if I wanted to review my answers and try again. They are. That's why it's fun. Well, actually, none of these are really trick questions except for the Black Swan.
Yeah.
And when I said it, I purposely mumbled the word the.
Oh my gosh,
Like-
Matt! I will never forget on one of your trivia nights. You said something about Snow White's.
Sleeping
Prince?
Beauties. Oh,
No, it was Snow White. You said like he was Prince Charming, like he's only known by Prince Charming. I was like, no, he is not.
Florian is not canon, nor is Ferdinand. It's just like Prince Adam.
I've never heard Ferdinand, but Florian, yes, like that is like
It's not
like,
canon.
I
It is in our hearts, like Adam for the Beast, but Disney is still like, no, they won't
but
give
when
it
you
to
look
us.
it up, it says it.
It says it on like the fan created wikis, but not the Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you in my heart, yes, but for trivia nights, the facts are the facts. Okay, there they are. Next, Lifeboat.
Is that a movie?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a movie. 3, 2, 1. Oh, one R and one NAR. One of you is right. It's a NAR. There's no pirates in Lifeboat. There are
Well,
Nazis.
how would you get on the lifeboat without pirates?
Because of the Nazis. I think it's Nazis. I think it's an Alfred Hitchcock movie, and the whole thing takes place on a lifeboat from people like their boat was sank it's one of the world wars. And yeah, but then they save a guy who ends up being from like the enemy country or whatever, and then they're like, can we trust him? And then it turns out they can't. And at some point they amputate some guy's leg for some reason. It's a good movie. But it's Hitchcock, so like you don't see blood. They just say, we have to amputate. Then the next scene, he doesn't have a leg. And the whole thing's on the lifeboat. Good movie. Next, Frenchman's Creek. Frenchman's Creek.
Where did you find these movies?
Are these like all movies that are in like black and white from like the way?
Yeah, they're all movies that were made before Pirates of the Caribbean, going with the theme of no pirate movies were good.
Oh.
Go. 3, 2, 1. R. You're both right. Frenchman Creek. Yeah, it's an R. There's pirates. Oh, you're both tied. We need some
I
more division
know.
here. Okay.
I lost my edge.
Next, the Poseidon Adventure. R or nar. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you're both right. It's a nar. There's no pirates in the Poseidon Adventure. There is a ship. It turns over.
Yes.
Yes. So actually, it's very anxiety-inducing, that movie. Yeah, because they're all on a cruise ship. Well, the original in the 1970s.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, they're all on a cruise ship, and then it's New Year's Eve, and then the whole ship capsizes, so it's upside down, and then they have to work their way to the bottom of the ship, which is like the top most part. So they have to navigate their way through an upside down ship. So like the entire set is upside down, slowly filling with water.
Oh, no,
It's-
no.
It is so. It's yeah. It very anxiety.
You know, my friend works for a cruise ship. Like, she works on a cruise ship. And they were talking about they do like movie nights on the cruise ships and stuff.
Mhm.
And someone thought it was a good idea to show Titanic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd die.
Yeah, I worked on a cruise ship very briefly for like 5.5 months, and I ran karaoke, which I thought would be fun, and it's one of the worst jobs I've had in my life because people are terrible. But there was always like that teenager that thought she'd be funny by singing "My Heart Will Go On." Like, no one thinks you're funny. Come on. What's this? Didn't we want? I hope a cruise ship didn't show Poseidon Adventure on New Year's Eve, mother. My gosh. It's a good piece for teaching 12/8. Oh, which piece for teaching 12/8 time signature? The Pirates theme? I think it's the Pirates theme.
Probably.
Kaylee's here. Woo!
Kaylee!
Yay! Kaylee, join us for a future pirate night. We have like 4 more after this. I can't believe I have to watch 4 more of these. Okay, 2 more in the regular round. Waterworld.
Oh, that's not fair. They
Why
don't
not?
because I don't.
I've never seen
This is a trick. This is a trick question. Okay.
Oh, I'm going to go off you. Should
If
I
the
go off
Wikipedia page said pirates, I went with pirates. If it didn't say pirates, I said there wasn't a pirate. I don't know. I
All
haven't
right.
seen
All
Waterworld.
right.
3,
You
2,
haven't
1.
seen Waterworld.
No.
you?
What?
Wait. Morgan, did you adjust your paper
No, I
based
was
on
going.
Yes, she
I was going
did.
for
She
R.
said, "I'm
I
going
was
for
going
you."
for R.
I saw that.
I was going for R.
Okay. Well, you both got it. Apparently, there's
Okay.
pirates.
They don't call. I don't think they ever call them pirates in Waterworld. I've watched that movie again too many times.
Do they
Saw it
not?
in theaters. I don't know that they ever really call them that.
The
That's why
wiki
I was
page
like,
said that like pirates kick off the plot at the beginning.
yeah,
or
they are
something.
definitely pirates. I was like, oh, they're definitely pirates, but I don't know that they ever actually call them pirates.
Well, one day I'll see it. Isn't it the worst movie of all time?
No, it is not. It's so amazing.
Or isn't
I
it?
love that movie.
Doesn't it have the world record for like losing the most money?
It did. Yeah. Oh, because the special effects were like insane. Yeah.
Yeah. All I know about it is that the world is water, and the little kid went on to play Alice in like the best live action Alice in Wonderland movie made for TV. It's fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah. It's an all-star cast. Whoopi Goldberg is the Cheshire Cat. We love her. Yeah, fantastic. Well, the Alice movie marathon will happen one day. We'll all watch it.
Oh,
Okay.
I've been waiting for that one. I'm like shocked you haven't done
The
it.
Alice one? No, I went for Pan first.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kind of regret that now because there was a lot of Peter Pan for a month. But Alice, I feel, would be the exact same thing where I'm just like, I'm so sick of this story and all these actors who aren't good.
Well, you could do Alice Through the Looking Glass and then Alice in Wonderland and
What, you mean like the Tim Burton one?
yeah.
That's half the reason I haven't done it yet. I want to watch those terrifying Burton
Oh,
movies.
no.
I really like those movies. Those are the
No.
only Alice in Wonderland movies that I actually watched.
Pirates of Penzance, so good. I was the Pirate King once in that show. I was fantastic. All right, if I do say so myself, because no one else said it. All right, final question of the main round: The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir.
Okay.
They're all like way before me.
Morgan, you answer first. 3, 2, 1.
Nar.
A nar and a nar. Oh yeah, you're both right. It's a nar.
It's a nar.
It's a movie from like I think maybe the 40s or the 50s, and the ghost is in fact a sea captain, but not a pirate.
Ah.
So in my mind,
okay.
it was a trick question, kind of, because I was like, if they know it, they'll know the ghost is nautical. They just won't know if he's a pirate or not. But he's
Well,
not.
good thing neither of us knew it.
Yeah, exactly. Now you know. Well, you're both tied. So that is what that is. Are you both wagering all your points?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, actually, no, this might work out for you because there's a very good chance you'll both have different answers for this question. Here we go.
Okay.
What was the first Disney feature film to feature pirates?
Oh gosh.
What was the first Disney produced
Oh my God.
feature film?
Not necessarily animated, just
I said
Disney
what
produced.
I said.
Okay. Okay.
The
All right.
first Disney produced feature film to feature pirates.
I don't like you.
I think this is wrong, but
I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna say it because I'm not even gonna write it down.
Okay. I feel like
I
this
think
is something
it's
Bob
wrong.
Hunt would know.
I think it's wrong.
yeah, I think you're right there. I think this is wrong, but
I think this is a Bob Hunt question.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Bobby, chime in.
Bobby, chime in.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, because Disney's been around for so long, so like I would not be shocked. Like I have two ideas in my head, but I don't know.
Okay,
I
Morgan,
don't know
you
if
go first.
Disney produced them. Like I
You
don't
go first. Morgan, what's your answer?
Okay, Peter Pan
Okay.
or Three Musketeers. Those are my two.
Three
Okay.
Musketeers was made in like 94.
Yeah, here's my answer.
Ooh. Okay, you're both wrong.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Probably
give you an
wrong.
opportunity to guess again.
Okay.
You both
I
get
already
one more
guessed
guess.
twice.
Oh, well,
Oh.
they were both wrong. You got a third guess.
Let's see.
I don't know any other Disney movies with the pirates.
It's going to be one of those answers that when I tell you, you'll think, oh, why didn't I just guess that? Like, it's definitely a movie you've heard of.
Okay.
I can't guarantee it's a movie you've seen. It's 100% a movie you have both heard of.
Can you tell me if it's live action or animated?
It's a feature film.
Yeah, he was not gonna tell us. Dang it, that was really my best answer.
I will say Morgan's guess was very close in terms of the year that it came out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know it was.
Yeah,
This
that
movie,
was
yeah, because Peter Pan was 50, and I had to check because I thought it might be Peter Pan, but it wasn't. Peter Pan was 53. This movie came out, I think, in 1950. I think,
then
around
I
there.
might still be wrong. I don't.
Oh
and
my
I can't,
god.
I also can't
Wait.
spell it either. So, all right, I'm gonna guess.
Let's just check the comments here. Martha also jumped on the Pan train. Condor Man. Yes, Disney Dino got it.
Stop
No,
it!
That's
Oh,
not
get
Condor
out of
Man. Ice Pirate. Is Ice Pirate? No, it's not Ice
What
Pirates.
is Ice Pirates? Oh, that's my guess. Hold on, before you go any further,
Yeah,
I
was
didn't even.
gonna
I
say
didn't.
Pinocchio!
I didn't even see Bobby Hunt's answer. I promise you, I didn't until you put it on the screen. I was like, nope, that's mine.
When you said 1950,
I
was
swear
like,
to you, I
wait,
wrote
is
it down ages ago.
Pinocchio?
It's okay. You're all wrong. It's not Pinocchio.
Okay.
Okay.
Scheiße.
Fantasia doesn't have pirates in it.
No. Okay. Has everyone given up?
I guess
No,
so.
wait.
Okay. I'll give you a hint. An actor who was in Disney's Peter Pan was also in this movie.
That doesn't help me.
Oh, wait, was this before? No, this wasn't. Maybe this was.
Wait,
before
which one's
that.
Disney's Peter Pan?
Did we
The
say the
cartoon
name
one.
of this movie earlier already?
The words of this movie have been said.
Oh, well then this is wrong too.
Well, we kind of said it. No. That ain't it.
That came out after
Yeah.
Peter
Came out
Pan.
after. So the okay, another hint. The kid who voiced Peter Pan was also in this movie.
You're
That
not
is
helping.
not helping.
Bobby
Bobby Driscoll.
Driscoll.
Well, yeah, I know. I know who Bobby Driscoll is. I don't have a single clue what movie he was in before
I don't
that.
know. Okay, I give up. I don't know.
Oh my god, what
I don't
else
think I'm gonna.
is
I don't
there?
think. I think what you think I know and what I actually know are two very different things.
Okay, I'll give another hint.
There's no way.
No, and this might be the one that gives it away. And it will. So I want to figure
So,
out
Give it
how-
away. Give it away.
Give
Give
it
it
away
away
now?
now.
Whoever writes it down first after I give this hint gets the points. And whoever
Okay.
shows it on my screen first.
Okay.
This movie was remade in the 90s with Muppets.
Oh.
Yes!
Oh,
Treasure Planet. She.
I was like, I know it's something treasure.
Okay, no.
I thought it was treasure. Aren't they technically pirates though? Like they're technically pirates.
It's-
There's
it's
Morgan,
the
you
story.
win. You win. You
Thank
win.
you.
You won. Morgan won, everyone.
No, I didn't. One of these days I will actually win though, and it will be the
Treasure
glorious
Planet.
day of my life.
Oh
Treasure
my God.
Planet.
I mean, it's
Oh
the
my
same
God.
story.
It
It's
is.
just a different
It's-
setting.
Yes.
Oh, is it? Is that why?
Yes, it's the same setting.
It's a planet. Yes, it's a planet instead of an island, but it's the same thing. It's the same.
Oh my God.
It's the same
I was
thing.
like, aren't they technically pirates? But I know that came out after Pan. But I was like, maybe I just don't know of a Treasure Planet movie. Like I don't know.
No, it's Treasure Planet is Treasure Island in space. That's the pitch.
Yes.
Uh, so yeah, no, Treasure Island was Disney's first live action movie, feature film ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The first ever live action feature film. It came out in
Wow.
1950.
That's why I was like, it can't be an animated. If it wasn't Pinocchio and it wasn't Peter Pan, I was like, it can't be an animated one. It has to be some random, like,
No,
live action movie that I have no idea.
Like
that
Treasure
they
Planet.
did
Treasure Island. I was like, this is like one of the most famous pirate stories ever. Everyone knows Treasure Island.
that. I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
What about with Muppets?
No,
Oh.
I was
that's
not that
sad.
much. I was born in the late '90s, so
Yeah,
the
but
Muppets were not a thing for.
The Muppets are timeless.
Muppets are
and
timeless.
But there was like we had like baby Muppets didn't come out till like I was already too old for the Muppets.
Martha got
And
it.
then like the Muppets
Yes.
like weren't like really, we had better
Well,
puppet things that
Bob says Morgan needs to maybe take a Matt quiz. Matt.
I think he means take a Matt quiz.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Morgan has taken many Matt quizzes.
yeah.
So-
I actually find it funny that new TikTok filter where people have to do the math questions. It like angers
Oh,
me
I would
inside
hate
when
that.
people get them wrong because
Oh, I
I'm
would
like,
get it wrong.
oh,
Yes, that would be
So
me. That would be
easy.
me. Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, who knows? Maybe the next Matt trivia night, Morgan will be the on-screen guest.
oh my gosh!
Nice.
Could you imagine? Just rage quit.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. I just have to pick a theme, or I might just. I know the next one's supposed to be in August. I might just do a Disney Plus one again and coincide it with Disney Plus Day because Disney's
Yeah.
decided that that's a holiday. So I'll go.
That's
with
But
it.
wait,
cool.
it's not in August, is it?
No, it's September though, like September 4th or 5th.
I was gonna say you could do Mickey's Not So Scary, like Halloween, because all the
Ooh.
Halloween events are starting.
That could be fun. That could be
No,
fun.
it's-
Ooh, well, that's a future Matt problem. We'll figure that out then. Anyway, anything that people want to say about Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl before we wrap things up for this evening? We've said we love the music,
Just-
we love Johnny Depp, we love the movie. Let's
It's
face
the
it.
best. It's the best Disney ride movie, and I think personally, it's an iconic film just for being like just in films, not just Disney movies,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah, it redefined a genre.
yeah,
There it is.
made it relevant.
Mhm.
I agree. I think that's also why it does better than like some of the other ones because like you said, like there's not many pirate movies that aren't from like black and white days
Or that are any good. Yeah.
or that are any good. Like I feel like this is like the only pirate movie I can personally think of that's actually like fully about pirates that's actually good.
Until you see Muppet Treasure Island.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Well, during Muppet Week, I'll just
Yeah.
get
Muppet
on
Month.
that.
Muppet Month.
Muppet Month.
Yes.
Muppet Month. I have to figure out when that's going to happen. Oh, we're like halfway through the year. Still so many movies to watch.
I know, right?
I know. So Roald Dahl has to happen eventually, as does Sondheim. Then there should be something Halloween themed. I might do a Tim Burton movie month, like movie
yes.
month. Yes, because that's
You
kind of
know,
Halloween,
you
but
should,
not really.
You know what you should do?
Hocus Pocus movie month.
Disney decom Halloween movies.
Oh
You can
my
also
gosh.
do Halloween Town. There's 4
I don't know if I can handle a month of those, except
but
for
there
Halloween
are so
Town.
many good ones. My mom got
Mom's Got a
my
Date with a
mom's dating a
Vampire.
vampire. There's
Phantom of the
the
Megaplex.
little
Un-
vampire.
Under
There's
wraps.
Halloween Town.
Under
Under
Wraps.
wraps. The older one,
Um,
not the new one. That one was trash.
Oh, what's the other
Um,
one? Oh, Don't Look Under the Bed.
Don't Look Under the Bed. Oh, talk about a movie that scared me to my core. Scarred me for childhood. Yes, Scream Team. Such a good movie. Love that movie.
Hocus
It's all
Pocus 2.
coming.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out.
Yeah. Oh, so much to look forward to. We just have to get through the summer. I hate the summer. It's my least favorite time of year. But bring on the fall. Woo. And Halloween and winter. Best time of year. We just have to truck on through for that reward. Get through the gross hot months with sun. That's why I hated working on a cruise ship, because I hate sun and I hate heat. That's all that job was. And I was on a ship and there were no pirates. It was so disappointing. Yeah. I will say ship life is equally glamorous to what you see in the pirate movies. Just to say not glamorous at all, even now. So those are my closing thoughts. Pirates are better in the movies than they are when you work for Carnival Cruise Line. Done. I said what I said. All right, everyone. Time to sign off. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Tell us anything you want us to know. Morgan, you go first.
So you can find me on YouTube at Teaching Disney. I actually have a giveaway that is going live tomorrow for the tumblers I showed last week on that show. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. I also have a live stream tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is Teacher's Corner. So shout out to all the teachers that are finishing up their school year or are finished like me. So yeah, it's a fun time. Come check us out. Trying to get to 500. Hopefully, hoping to get there.
It's going to happen. Thank you, Morgan. Until next time. Ta-ta.
Hello. So
Hi,
you can
Jeanette.
find me at TinkerJ787 on Instagram. You can catch me Tuesday nights, well, here, but also over on We Like Theme Parks, co-hosting on there. Coming up in July, I'll be starting Dole Whip Darlings with the Churro Fund. And very soon, I'll be taking a super quick trip to Disney for Disney Dado and I's 10th wedding anniversary. So there'll be a little bit about that. I don't know how much I'll be actually, covering while I'm there, but there will be at least a little bit.
Woo! Happy anniversary. Happy Disney trip.
Thanks.
Huzzah. I tried to get the cup in the shot. I didn't. Hello. Welcome, everyone. And thank you for joining us for the first episode of our Teacup for One Pirates of the Caribbean movie marathon. Join us next week when we watch, I can't remember which one's next, Dead Man's Chest at the World's End on the Stranger Tides or something. One of those, the one where the fish pirates show up. That's what we're watching next week. Join us for that. Can't wait. Until then, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to all the other channels. Nerdy, Teaching Disney, all of the things. But my name is Matt and I have 2 degrees. And this has been the Zombie Head Cup for One. How do I end this?